Hey, welcome back, folks. I'm sorry about that. Hope you'll jump right back in. We lost some connectivity and, technical things. That's what happens sometimes. So I'm going to give everybody a little bit of time to jump back in on this. I do not want you to miss this. I believe that by that happening, that shows the significance of what I'm going to share with you on today. So if you shouted yourself out on the last live, that's great. I want you to shout yourself out again. Tell me where you're viewing it from. And also, if you would, please share this with somebody else. There is something about this that you were supposed to get. And if I would have just given up on it, you wouldn't have gotten it today. You're going to get it today. I don't care what I have to do. I am going to get this out there to you. So go ahead and do those quick things for me. And once again, welcome to your edition of The Spark. This episode is brought to you by myself, David Worthy, and I am, without a doubt, the author of this life-changing book, You Are the Architect of Your Life. If you have not gotten you a copy, you need to get one quickly. I'll leave you a link. Hey, listen, as I was saying before the technical difficulties, I want you to take this in on today, but I do not want you to become offended by what I'm going to say, because I believe that if you will hear me and not become offended, that you're going to gain something out of this that's going to take you to the next level. It's going to get you to where you need to be. And obviously, I would never ever do anything to offend anyone, but sometimes truth does come across, and it comes across very strongly, and it could, quote unquote, if we allow it, offend us. Now, there's a key thing I want to share with you real quickly before I get into today's lesson about offense. Look at the word offended. There are two words in the word offended: off and ended. And if you put them together, offended. This is what I learned from one of my mentors a long time ago about getting offended. When a person gets offended, they get off of the course that they should be on, and they end the process that could take them to the next level. So do not get offended. On last week, I shared with you about how to know and articulate and ask for your value, to know your worth. And in doing that, someone shared with me, they said, well, what if I'm not at the level I want to be at, or the level of value, or the level of worth? Now, remember this right here. This is very key, that you see yourself in a certain way. And if you see yourself as if you're not at the level you desire to be at, there are things that you can do about it. So how do I increase my worth and be valued more? That's a very important question. And the reason why it's so important is because if we're going to get to the level in life that we desire to get to, we're going to have to definitely know our worth, but we have to be able to increase our worth and be valued even the more. Let me see if I can give you a story or paint a picture for you that will help you with that. Here in the Tampa area, the St. Pete area, there is a hotel by the name of the Vinoy. Vinoy. It is a very, very nice hotel, 5-star, no doubt. But in that hotel, there is a janitor that goes about cleaning the building and sweeping and mopping and taking care of people's messes, because, anytime there's people, there's going to be a little bit of a mess. But then also in that building, there is an accountant who keeps the Vinoy's books. Now, I want to ask you a question. I want you to think about this. Who do you believe earns more money, the janitor or the accountant? Now, most people would look at that and say, definitely the accountant. Why does the accountant earn more money is what we must ask ourselves. And the only answer can be because of the value that is seen in the accountant. Now, this is the part where you can get offended if you let yourself. I am not saying that the janitor's job is not important. It is. But however, the perceived value goes to the accountant, and the accountant is paid more than a janitor. I guarantee it. Think about it from this standpoint. When you go to a hotel, there is a lady that comes in and cleans your room and takes care of everything, makes your bed, cleans up the mess and everything else. Who do you believe is paid more in that situation? The lady who cleans your room, or the person who make sure the books are right, make sure the same thing. It's an accountant. Listen to me and listen very closely. You are valued and paid in direct proportion to your perceived value in the marketplace. The accountant has a perceived value of being more. Now, we're talking about the job, not the person. The accountant is perceived as being more valuable than the person that cleans the room, than the person that mops the floors. But who works harder? No doubt. I'm telling you, no doubt the janitor, the person that cleans, the housekeeper, the person that does all of that works harder than the accountant. But the perceived value goes to the accountant. Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. How easy is it to replace the janitor? How easy is it to replace a certified public accountant, a CPA? You can see where I'm going. I'm not telling you that the individual or the person is more valuable. I'm not telling you that. But what I am telling you is that the perceived value goes to the accountant. So what I have to understand that if I'm going to be paid according to my perceived value, I've got to up my worth and up my value in order to be perceived as more valuable in the marketplace. Now, here's where it gets a little tough. How do I increase my worth and become more valuable? The number one way, write this down. The number one way to increase your worth is to solve problems. Yep, solve problems. All right, listen to this right here. If it solves a problem, money is going to flow to it. I can prove that out in so many different ways. And here in just a moment, I will. And watch this right here. The bigger the problem that it solves, the more money that's going to flow to it. I like to say it like this. One of my mentors shared this with me, one of my coaches. He said, David, he or she who solves problems gets paid. And so here is the key to increasing my perceived value is to identify someone's problem and solve it. If I will do that, my value goes up. My perceived value goes up. Why? Because I'm solving problems. I want to share a story with you. There were these two men, Garrett Camp and Travis Kalanick. All right. Camp and Kalanick, they went one time in New York City and they wanted to have a personal driver. They understood this right here. They got a personal driver and it cost them $800 to have that personal driver. And they looked at this and they said, this is a problem. Okay, this is a problem and we believe that we can solve it. So in 2009, Uber, that's the owners and the CEO and the owners, the creators of Uber, Camp and Kalanick, decided to build Uber. And then what they did, they looked at that and they said, here's a way that a person can have a personal driver and not at the expense of $800. Money flows to them in an incredible rate now. So you got to understand that when you solve a perceived problem, when you solve that and it becomes valuable to the marketplace, you get paid. Now that wasn't enough. So what I want you to understand is they went further than that. So here's what you got to do. 4 things to increase your worth and be valued more. Number 1, look for problems. I'm telling you right now, quit chasing money, start chasing problems. Then ask this question. What is the ideal solution for this problem? Because remember, he or she who solves problems gets paid. So the second thing that you want to do now, you want to invent, you want to improvise, and you want to improve. What do you mean by that? Well, first thing, take the Uber story. They invented or created Uber. This personal driver that you can just dial in on your phone and they pick you up and take you wherever you want to go, and it doesn't cost you $800 for a personal driver. Then they said, you know what? We need to improvise this. They got an app. They got all these different tools to make it that much better. Then they went a little bit further because in 2014, now they say, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go into the food delivery business, and we now have Uber Eats. So you want to invent, you want to improvise, and you want to improve. Now, the third thing, is what you want to do. You want E and E. I call it E and E. What is E and E? You want it to be easy and you want it to be efficient. Think how easy it is to get you an Uber driver anywhere really now in the United States. You can get an Uber driver by going on your cell phone, pulling up the Uber app, and just typing it in, and next thing you know, somebody shows up. Very, very easily. You don't have to worry about transfer of money or any of that kind of stuff because it's all done electronic through their app. So they made it easy. And watch this right here. They made it very efficient. That's what you have to do. And then number 4, the fourth thing you have to do, measure your results and adjust. That's what they did. They saw where they were strong at, they saw where they were weak at, and they made the necessary adjustment. He or she who solves problems gets paid every single time. So if you want to increase your worth and be more valued, if you want to earn more faster, what you have to do is stop chasing the money, start chasing the problems, find the solution to the problem, and there you go. Now you earn more and you become more valued in the marketplace. I hope this has helped you on today. You know, I spent a lot of time in this book talking about people getting the right mindset in order that they could do those things. And I believe with all of my heart that when you take this on and you take the right mindset about this, you can get where you want to go. No longer are you defeated because all you have to do is open your ears, listen for problems, and then start finding solutions. And when you do that, you are going to get paid. So you're not at a disadvantage. You have the same advantage that everybody else. You have the same advantage that Kalanick and Camp had, and they just came up with a great solution. I hope this has helped you on today. Listen, I want you to have a fantastic week. Please share this with somebody who may be struggling along the way. I believe this will help them, and I believe that they will thank you for helping them if they can just get beyond just being a little offended initially. But I tell you, if you get over that and get to the next level, great and wonderful things are coming your way. Don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, You Are the Architect of Your Life. I will leave you a link in the description. But until next week, remember this right here. You are the architect of your life, and I believe in you. I'll see you next week. Thank you, folks. Bye.